Hi, I'm George Cox for Talk of the Town. We have highlights from the Bruce Freeman Rail Trail ribbon cutting, the Minuteman Arc, and a special producer spotlight. So much more on this edition of Talk of the Town. George Cox for ActonTV. We are here at NARA Park for the Bruce Freeman Rail Trail ribbon cutting. Earlier today, we had a chance to ride the trail with 3 bikes borrowed from Pedal Power. Here are some highlights from the ribbon cutting.
Who wouldn't want to be here at this moment today? This is wonderful. I do want to first out acknowledge the Bruce Freeman family. Thank you so much for all being here. This is a beautiful day for your family. The representative would be so proud of all of us today. So to the Freeman family, thank you for being here today. It's really special, very, very special.
We are here with the family of Bruce Freeman and friend, and we're here with Daphne, and you are Bruce's widow. What a great legacy to his memory, just having this wonderful trail for people to enjoy. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I think it's absolutely wonderful, and I appreciate everybody who's worked so hard on this to make it happen. It was my husband's dream many, many years ago. He's been gone for 32 years, but it was his dream to start a bike path that was safe for families. And when we went out to see my son and my grandson in California, they had a bike path out there. And we went for a ride, and he said, you know, this is the sort of thing I want in Chelmsford. And so when we came back, a few months later, he was working at this with other people in the town of Chelmsford to see if he couldn't get it going, and something happened, and it gradually did. But unfortunately, he died a year later before he knew anything that it would go into fruition. But he wanted a safe place that people could take the families riding, because he was an outdoors person too. He loved to ride his bike, and so I'm very, very thrilled today that it happened, and I can't thank everybody involved so much for all the work and the devotion that Tom Michelman put into it. He's been dedicated for so long, and he's the president of the Friends of the Rail Trail, and he's been so dedicated. I can't thank him enough. And everybody else, we're indebted to everybody who's worked on this trail for my husband and for everybody else, for the public to enjoy.
While living in Acton, I was mocked by my young daughters, Julie and Valerie. With them in tow, on some errand, I would drive by Phase 2A right-of-way along Great Road and point out and exclaim that one day the proposed Bruce Freeman Rail Trail will be built just over there. Well, I did so one too many times. They got fed up and retorted, "We know, Dad, you've only told us 100 times. My youngest daughter, Val, upped the ante and pointed out to the Gould's Plaza parking lot where Donaldson's is and exclaimed, "Right over there is the proposed Bill Gates Memorial Beach." When I protested who was proposing the Bill Gates Memorial Beach, she countered, "She was." and it is just as real as your proposed rail trail, which sadly I had to admit was true. Today though, oh boy, I've been waiting at least 15 years for today. I can now point out that global warming is real, but there are no forecasts of beachfront property in Acton. I can further pile on that Bill Gates is still not dead, and best of all, while her idea is still proposed, nay, all of our Bruce Freeman Rail Trail is real. Thank you all for your efforts and letting me finally stick it to my children.
And when I think about this phase of the Bruce Freeman Rail Trail, connecting it to Westford, Chelmsford, and Lowell, it's about quality of life, it's about recreation, it's about economic development, especially for small businesses that are along the rail trail. And I'm excited to see some of the new businesses that I hope pop up along Route 2A in Acton. But it's also about just a general sense of communities coming together. Obviously crossing town boundaries, connecting people in the way that many people have connected by being enthusiasts of recreation and rail trails in general. I am just overjoyed. You know, we were here just a few years ago for the groundbreaking, and to see the construction of the rail trail, connecting it to Westford so that you can get all the way up to Lowell, and then eventually, once the next phase goes through, get to Concord, West Concord. So it's something that I've worked on as an advocate for well over 10 years to secure the state funding, and it's just a beautiful day to have today's ribbon cutting.
Tell us about the legacy of your dad and just being alive here.
Well, my dad was a visionary, and he just wanted to really have a trail that was safe for families, because riding with kids on the main road was a very dangerous thing. And this was one of Dad's visions, that he wanted to do this bike path. And we are thrilled today with this second phase continuing, and all the dignitaries that are here today, and everybody that's worked so hard for this trail to make it come true. It's just awesome. And I know my dad is looking down on us today.
And if people want more information, make sure you visit the Friends of Bruce Freeman. We're going to leave you with some footage that we shot earlier today with our GoPro of us riding down the trail, so stay tuned for that. We got the GoPro on Ben, the intern's head, and we're going to explore the Bruce Freeman Rail Trail. Let's go!
Here we go.
And we'd like to thank Joyce Reshoots of Pedal Power for letting us borrow those awesome bikes.
Isn't that amazing, George? Was that like the best day of work ever, or what?
It was the best day of work, and I wish we had more days like that every day. So tell us what's coming up next.
All right, so next up, I got a chance to sit down with Judy Faust and Kathy Bomba. They produce a show at ActonTV called All Our Pieces. You probably know about it. It's a poetry reading show where they share their ideas about poetry, the poems that they've composed themselves, and just try to encourage it in the community.
Excellent. If you have a show idea, maybe you want to be a TV star at Acton, drop us a line at actontv.org.
Hi, I'm Patrick Snow for Talk of the Town. I'm sitting down here today with Kathy Bomba and Judy Faust, who just finished recording an episode of their show, All Our Pieces, which is a poetry show. But that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm going to let one of you give a little more of a description of what this show is.
Well, Judy and I met at our apartment complex, and I was looking for a way to get my poetry out somewhere, and Judy said, "Oh, I'm a videographer," and that's how this came about.
It was just incredible timing, because I was thinking about, I wanted to do something with getting my poetry off of my bookshelf and doing something with it, and I didn't, tell you the truth, I didn't want to go through the publishing route. It takes months. It's you know, I didn't want to devote. I wanted something more immediate. I wanted something that had to do with videography, and I had come here already to ActonTV to participate in events, and I think this is a gorgeous studio. So it all fell together perfectly. And we've become very good friends, and wonderful things have come out of this. So
No, that's great. Yeah, I know
We're
you're a
thrilled.
longtime member, and it was awesome when you started the show. And both of you read, I mean, it's split fairly 50-50. You'll read your work, Kathy, you'll read your work, and it's usually on a theme. So I'm curious, what does poetry, you know, obviously you each have your own distinct style and approach to it, and I'm sure you have some things in common and some things that are different, but what does poetry mean for both of you?
Well, for me, it means to take life experiences and put down how I was feeling and what lesson I was getting from it. Like all of my poems are, you know, tend to be around nature or true things that happen, like being on the cross-country team. And what was I learning? What was I feeling at the time? So that there's not only a poem, you know, a story to follow, but it also might help someone to think about, well, what do I pull on when I feel like I can't go on, when I can't keep running, when I can't take that next step? You know, what force do I draw on to help me get through? So it's never just about the poem itself. With me, there's always a lesson behind it, because that's just how I am. Mm-hmm. It helps us to use allegories and stories to help people maybe go down deeper than what they normally would do.
We have a hidden agenda, I think, which it means that we desire to share with people what we have learned in life and hope that they reflect on their own stories and their own experiences, and in the process enjoy the rhythm of words and our humor and the storytelling and the unusual experience that somebody has. So, and if you ask me, why do I do this? I've been writing since I was, I think, 9, you know, and it's been, I didn't know what I was doing. I would just hear something in my head and I go like, oh, you grab a napkin or something, I got to write it down. And I think in a word, it's therapy.
You touch on, I think, all the emotions of life in pretty much every one of your episodes, whether you're talking about blizzards or childhood experiences or something more current happening. I guess my last question is, what is your goal with this show? If there's like one thing that you would want people to get out of this, watching this show, what would that be?
Like what Kathy said, bring people closer, maybe closer to God, closer to nature, closer to their own life and reflecting of it. And we do seek to be entertained and to entertain, to reach out to people. So
yeah, and I think too, to just show that you don't need these big, you know, complex vacations or whatever to have fun, like it's right in your own yard, and to connect with people. Yeah,
cool.
I would say
that's
that.
Wonderful.
Plus, I'm going to be publishing my work, so.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. I have a publisher and an illustrator who are my really good friends, and they really believe in my work, and I already have a store that wants to carry my books. It's just very serendipitous how this all worked out, you know. And I didn't start writing poetry till until a few years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 4 years ago. All of a sudden, I just would stand there, and a lot like Judy, I would just get a download and write, and the poem would be done. It's like, where did that come from?
I think with publishing, I have published some of my work, and I never made a book like that.
I'm still in process.
Yeah. But this was a way for me to every month polish up 13 poems, get them, you know, up and look at the bulk of them, toss things out, and have them ready. So now, if I really want to put them together, I can. And the storytelling nature and being in front of a camera is a whole nother experience as well. And it helps me develop more skills.
You're also the editor of the show too, so all of the work of all of the graphics to music to artwork that's included, I mean, that's all you from start to finish.
Yeah, and for me, like I'm trying to write a poem for the next show. I don't have a backlog of poems, so it's inspiring me, like, what could I write about for the spring? Because Judy has her stockpile. I have like what?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I'm trying to finish my ocean one for the summer. So
Right.
it's, you know.
Yeah, so Judy, your bulk of your work is after the episode's done, editing, putting it together, and then Kathy, for you, it's all before the episode, just getting all of the new stuff.
I'm
the
trying to
material
write a
ready.
new one. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I do polish them up because a lot of my poems, they go back, you know,
So you're revisiting works
Since I
from
was-
years in the past, from
since I
throughout
was
your life.
17 or something, or you know, and I have
So
published.
just only a
some
couple of
here and
years
there.
ago. So.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Pat, I love you.
Well, that's pretty much just about all the time we have to discuss this.
Okay.
But hopefully we'll do another segment on this Talk of the Town in the future when you have done some more episodes, and maybe we'll do a special Talk of the Town poem or some kind of Acton poem edition we can do. I don't
Okay.
know.
We'd
I'm just coming up
really
with
love
ideas off the
people's
top of my head.
feedback.
So if they want to give you feedback, is there an avenue for that? Does the show, do you have an email address?
Yeah, Judy at connectyourstories.com is what I'm using for everything, my business and all that stuff, and then you share it with Kathy.
Yeah, same through her venue. Now you
Yeah.
get to
Wonderful.
be, Judy, you get to be in our threesome.
Does that work?
Does this work?
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
There are so many great volunteer opportunities at ActonTV. Speaking of which, Pete Keto went out to Ironwork Farm to cover the Patriots Day celebration.
Oh, you've got a big head on that one. What's your mind? Your head is way too big. I like your mind.
Oh, did I take the string?
We're working on a barn frame loom because it's called that because it's put together basically the way a barn one was with post and beam. And we're warping the loom right now. So this is what you have to do before you can weave fabric. The yarn was measured out and then it was slayed into the reed. There's one thread in every dent in this case. And now we're threading the heddles and we're alternating from the front harness to the back. So front, back, and we're putting it through, each thread goes through a little eye in the heddles. And what that does is once everything is done, we can lift up one of the harnesses and open a shed that way, and then we can lift the other one and open it this way. So it's basically to help the weaver, so there's not so much hand manipulation. But these threads will get tied onto the back beam and wound, and then around the front onto the cloth beam and held under tension so that they can be woven. So the weaving will take place up here once we're done. And we're going to be weaving some rag rugs. So we have some weft rags that we're going to be using. And because, there's our, here are our rags. They'll be nice and color coordinated. And this will be, how long did it, 40 inches?
40 inches.
40 inches wide. And then we can weave it as long as we want. We could weave multiple rugs or weave it all at once. And this is a job that is normally done by one person, but it's a lot more fun to do it with two people because you can talk. especially when it's just a simple pattern like this. When we only have 2 shafts, then it's just front, back, so you don't have to think a lot while you're doing it. As you get more shafts, 4 or 6 or 8 or more, you can do more and more different patterns in the weaving, and then the warping also gets more complicated.
Already a captain in Acton's Davis Blues, and the first captain of the Davis Guards in 1850. He had become a lieutenant colonel in the Massachusetts Volunteer Militia in 1832. He was known as Colonel Winthrop E. Faulkner for the rest of his life. Colonel Faulkner had great sympathy for the local soldiers and their families. On April 27, 1861, at the first town meeting after the war began, he introduced the resolutions to provide support and assistance to the soldiers in the field and to their families at home.
We have a great group of teenagers called the Acton Youth Team that cover so much news for us. Tell us what they covered here.
So what they did this month was covered the Minuteman March in Concord. It's the annual fundraiser for Minuteman ARC, which is a group that supports both children and adults with various disabilities. And they went out and got some great interviews and some footage of the march. And great job, James, Trevor, and Adam. Thank you very much.
Stay tuned. Who are you? What is your name?
My name is William Page. I'm the president of the board of directors of Minuteman ARC. Minuteman ARC has been going for almost 60 years and provides support to people with disabilities in 9 surrounding towns.
How is this event important to you?
Well, it's the major fundraiser for Minuteman that happens on an annual basis, and last year we were able to raise just over $125,000. Our goal this year is to raise $130,000, and hopefully by about noon we'll know if we've met our goals.
Hi, this is Minuteman ARC's annual march, and Minuteman ARC provides services for people with intellectual disabilities or any kinds of disabilities from birth up till through adulthood. So we're here with a lot of people from the Minuteman family just having a great time in this great weather, and it's a real gathering of people who are friends, family, employees, all together enjoying themselves.
I came here with my buddy here, Justin, do a little walk, enjoy the day. Yeah.
How many times have you come?
This is my second year.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah. How about you? 2 and 2?
Yeah.
Cool.
What do you think about while you march?
I just think about enjoying life, having a good time, making new friends, things like that.
Yeah.
Right?
How long have you been coming here?
My second walk, and it's a lot of fun.
Why have you come here?
To support Minuteman ARC as I go there, to help people with disabilities.
How did you enjoy the walk?
Good, not a lot of nice people.
Hi, we're here with
Meredith Green and Connor.
Hey, Connor.
Say hi.
Hey, it's nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too.
What's your name?
My name is James.
Nice to meet you, James.
Nice to meet you too, Connor.
It's a nice day to do a walk.
Yeah. Yes, it definitely is. Why do you come to this event?
Because the Minuteman ARC is so instrumental in getting people together and giving opportunities to kids like Connor and adults, and it's just a wonderful organization.
Hi, we're here with
Betsy Olson Mikowski. My son received early intervention at Minuteman ARC, and I just love their mission, and I love all the people that are involved here.
What's your favorite thing about this walk?
I just like seeing the whole community celebrating the people that Minuteman ARC serves. It's nice to see everyone here as a big group and just to celebrate them because they're so important and vital in our community.
Hello, what is your name?
I'm Alex.
I understand that you have also helped out at ActonTV once in a while?
Yeah, I do. We take our individuals from our CBS program and we make a lot of videos about Minuteman ARC and employment services and all that. They love it. It's a great time.
Why have you chosen to come to this event today?
Just to support the individuals and march and just have a great time. This is my third annual march, third year. So it's great.
Sounds good. Hello, you've just walked the Minuteman March. How do you feel?
Very good, very good. I enjoy.
Have you been coming here more than once?
Every year. Every year I come in and with the march. And my favorite is go eat hot dog, hamburger.
Do you like to come to this march every year?
Every year. Every year for the last, I don't know how many years, but every year. Just to walk and enjoy, take with the people, see the kids, eat hot dog.
Hi, we're here with...
my name's Dan Riley. I'm the president of the Concord Lions Club. Well, the Concord Lions has been supporting this event for the last 10 years, and we're very happy to do that.
How are you enjoying yourself today at this event?
It's beautiful weather and great people and free popcorn, so it never gets any better than that.
Nothing better than free popcorn. I'm James Gooseline, and I'm here with...
Jim French.
Well, why do you come here?
I have a daughter that's in the part of the ARC in Concord.
What's your favorite part about the Minuteman ARC program?
I think they do an awesome job taking care of the kids, or I guess they're adults now, some of them. So, yeah.
We'd like to thank you for watching this edition of Talk of the Town. If you want to be a volunteer, you have a show idea, maybe you want to sponsor the channel, then drop us a line at actontv.org. For all of us, we want to wish you a great week. I'm George Cox. We'll see you again next time.
We're going to keep going. We're at NARA Park. We're going to go back to Pedal Power.